What's up, guys? Welcome to Horticulture Geek. I'm glad you're here today. We're gonna fix a water fountain. So what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Ray. I'm glad you're here today because we've got to work on a quick project here in the garden. You know, sometimes things happen, things break, and that happened to me. One of my water fountains has sprung a leak, so I've got to fix it, and I thought I'll bring you guys along and you can see what I'm gonna do to fix this. In case you ever encounter an issue like this, you'll know kind of what I did, and maybe you'll take inspiration from that. It is hot, it is sweaty, the sun is beating down. I've actually got an umbrella over us so that I can work here in the shade. But let me flip this camera around. I'll show you where we're working, what we're working on, and we'll get started. All right, so here we are. We are in the back corner, so behind the pool, on the little gravel path, and we're working on my cherub water fountain right here. And we are underneath the sweet autumn clematis, which is getting huge. It is taking over, but that's what they do, so it's okay. So what's the deal with this fountain? Kind of back up so you can see a better view of it. So this is a fountain that I actually found used on Craigslist. The lady wanted $25 for it. It was in a house that she bought and moved into. The previous owners had left it in the house. She was not a gardener, so she put it on Craigslist for $25. When I got there to get it, she thought it was just a bird bath. She had no idea it was a water fountain. But when I got there to get it and look at it, and I unburied it because it was covered in leaves, I discovered there was a crack. And so I offered her 10 bucks for it since it was cracked. She accepted, and I brought it home. So what I did then was I got, some concrete filler. It's just like a caulk or a putty, the same stuff you would use in your bathtub to caulk your bathtub. They make a version of that for concrete specifically to fill holes and cracks in concrete. So I got a tube of that, and I have fixed that crack there. And it has held, this thing has held water and worked beautifully. I added a brand new pump. It's worked for over a year. But this spring, it started leaking. It's slowly oozing water out. So I had to turn it off and drain it. So what I'm gonna do right now is I've got two steps that I'm gonna do to fix this. One is I'm gonna use a brush, and I've got to clean the surface down, get all the loose dirt, grime, and debris off of the surface. And then we are gonna use a real simple fix here. Flex Seal in Clear. So I know that this fountain looks old and weathered and beat up, but I like that. I like the weathered, aged look of it. I don't want to hide it. I don't want to come in. You could come in with like a pool paint or a black sealer and try to seal this thing that way, but it would just paint over it. It would hide it. I don't want to do that. I like the way it looks. So my goal here is simply to clean it up, spray it down, and still maintain the look of the fountain. So I think that this product will do that for me. I've never used this product on a fountain before, but we're gonna give it a shot. Now I will tell you that this is not a safe project if you are going to try to fix a hole in something that you keep live plants or animals in, like a fish pond or something. This would not be a good product for that. But this is strictly a small water fountain for me. I do not, obviously there's not room in here. I could put a goldfish in there, I guess, if I wanted to, but I do not do that. I don't have any water plants in it. I literally keep it filled with water and just let it run so I can hear the sound of the trickling water. So I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna set the camera up and clean it out and spray her down, and I'm just gonna kind of fast forward you through that process. So. scrubbed it down, and then I have rinsed it out. I used the jet stream on my water attachment so that I could really get in there and kind of power wash the last bit of dirt and grime off. And I've rinsed it down really well to make sure I get all the loose dirt and debris, a little bit of algae growth that was in there for when it was running. All that stuff has been washed out, scrubbed down. So now I'm just gonna let it set here and dry in the sun, and then I'll come back in a little bit of time. It'll be just a few seconds for you, but I'll be back in just a few minutes once it's good and dry, and we'll get that sealer coat on it, and hopefully once that dries, it'll hold water and we'll have a working fountain again. So I'll be right back. All right, so I've let this dry. It's been quite a while. I finished some other garden chores while I was waiting on it, but now it is completely dry. All the dirt, debris, and residue is off of it, so I'm ready to spray. So I'm gonna set the camera up over here and get this done. Here we go. All right, I've got that all sprayed. It is going to take some time to dry, so I will probably come back to it either later tonight or in the morning, and we'll finish up that video at that point, which is going to be right about now for you. All right, well, as you can probably guess right now, it's a new day. It's actually probably a week and a half to 2 weeks since I started filming this video. I came back the next day, like I just said, and checked on the fountain. The Flex Seal had dried, so I assembled the fountain, put the cherub back on top, got the pump put back in, filled it up with water, turned it on. I was so excited, it was working. Came back about an hour later, still was oozing water. So I turned it off and gave it a whole nother coat, and let that dry a whole nother day. So you can see the process here. And then I just got busy doing other stuff. I've started working on other videos, other garden projects, and the sweet autumn clematis that it was under is just growing out of control at this point. And so I was having to constantly trim that bush, that vine from around the fountain. So it was just a series of circumstances, but I'm back. I'm ready to report that the fountain is fixed. It did take 3 coats of the Flex Seal, but I think we finally got our problem solved. It's holding water, it's working, and I have moved it. I was tired of fighting the sweet autumn clematis. And the video that I've just released was me building a brand new flower bed. Well, I was sitting in a chair over there and thought, that water fountain can go into that flower bed and I won't have to fight it under those vines anymore. So let me flip the camera around and I'm gonna show you the fountain in its new home. So here we go. So here it is, it's working. So my little cherub is just pouring his water out of his pot. I do have the pump turned on low, so it's not just gushing water, but I like the movement of it. I like the little trickle. Here, let me get you in close so you can hear. Probably all you can hear is the roar of the pool pump. Oh well, that's okay. So this is my little cherub fountain, all fixed up. I did go ahead and I sprayed the whole thing with the clear sealer, just to give it a little bit of a glossy look and protect the patina. without letting it deteriorate further. So I think it looks really good. I'm excited about it. And I think that wraps it up, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It has been quite a process to film this one for me, just because honestly, I got frustrated with it. When it didn't fix the very first time, I got frustrated. I just walked away from it, like I said, came back the next day, tried her again, and 2 weeks later, here we are. But it's fixed. It's in its new home, it's in the garden, and now I'm enjoying it again. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Maybe you've gained some inspiration. Maybe you've got a fountain or a water feature at home that needs a little help. So maybe this product will help you. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. And if for some reason you're not a subscriber to our channel already, go ahead and subscribe. We would love to have you join us. You never know. Oh, we've got a visitor. Say hey.
Hi.
All right. What do they need to do?
Hit the bell, subscribe, like.
And like. Yep. Thanks, bud.
Bye.
You heard it there, folks. Hit the bell, subscribe, and like. That's all we want, right? I hope you've enjoyed this video. But until next time, from my garden to yours, we wish you all the best and happy gardening.